Hi there, Sandy Freshie here, back with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I want to continue the conversation that I started in another video about the defined head center. And I just want to share some observations with you from my own experience about my defined head center and some of the things that I've come to realize and be aware of as I open up to how it functions. So I have the undefined head center that's defined, of course, the ajna is defined as well through the 6447, which is the channel of abstraction. What I've become really aware of is for the need for me to discipline my mind. And I'll explain this in mechanical terms so that you can kind of understand why I say that. So whenever you have a defined center, you are broadcasting your energy out into the world, out into your environment. It's connecting with other people who maybe in this case don't have the defined head center. They're taking it in, they're amplifying it. And if there's any distortion going on from my end or their end, but in particular with my awareness here, I want to talk about my end, then they take that distortion in and amplify it as well. So guess what that means for the person who has the undefined head center? It means that if I'm broadcasting distortion through my thoughts, because the head center is the center for inspiration and it's constantly broadcasting questions, as I said in the last video related to this one. They're taking in those questions and experiencing them in a very amplified and distorted way. So basically what they're experiencing from me, if I am, let's say, broadcasting negativity, or if I'm broadcasting in general confusion about myself that is then translated into something that is maybe painful for me because I have an illusion or a misperception going on about what that's about, or I've created a judgment around the confusion, then they're taking that in and they're trying to answer my questions. Now, it's not my responsibility to take care of their conditioning, or if you have a defined center, it's not your responsibility to take care of the other person's conditioning. But what I've really come to understand is that I need to learn how to, or continue to master, I guess, the function of my defined head center so that it doesn't turn in on myself, so that I can slow my mind down and really tune into my thoughts whenever possible so that I'm not turning those thoughts in on myself. I explained in the previous video that when you have a defined head in ajna, you have great potential to be a mental authority for others. So for me, it has to do with when I'm asked and invited to share what I see, I can help people make sense of confusion by rooting around in the confusion in a very abstract way until all of the dots get connected. And I want to kind of broaden this out because I know some of you have the gate 60, the 6124 defining your head in ajna, and some of you may have the 63-4 defining your head in ajna. So when you're broadcasting distortion from your definition, if you have the 6124, you may be trying to justify your truth or find your truth so that you can justify it. You may see things in a way where you intuitively know what they're about, but you don't know how you know it, and then you're trying to justify that, and you can get really caught up in the justification part. With the 63-4, you may get caught up in just trying to prove things logically, or caught up in the mental gyrations of doubt, and when they're turned in upon yourself, they can show up as self-doubt. and drive you crazy. Like all of these 3 gates, the 64, the 61, and the 63, I was taught in my training, are known as the gates of madness. So when you turn that energy in on yourself, you can drive yourself mad. So getting back to the mental discipline, my awareness about mental discipline. I've become aware lately of the pressure that is there all the time. And then if I don't use that mental energy correctly, it picks up and translates, and these are very abstract words, I guess, I don't know, but it sort of picks up and translates what's in my not self mind from the conditioning patterns of my undefined centers. So what I've been aware of lately is my undefined G center, actually. This is the undefined G center here, the white diamond. And how the pressure to figure out the how of my confusion, if I turn it inward, will pick up the tendency for the undefined G center to feel like I need to have a direction. Like I need to figure out the how of my direction in life or in a project or something like that. And what I've noticed is, especially like in my business collaborations, if I just allow that direction to be called out of me and I keep my mind, my head center functioning in a healthy way where I'm not trying to figure out my own problems, then the direction, of course, takes care of itself through my strategy and authority. It gets invited out of me. I get with the right people, and the direction unfolds through our collaboration, and there's nothing that I have to do to worry about that or worry that into existence. So here's what I've been doing lately to focus the pressure of my defined head center and how I experience it through that 6447 channel of abstraction. When there's no invitation, when I'm not invited to be the mental authority for someone else, I've been doing these abstract paintings. And I have a video somewhere where I have one where I actually discovered that this is really good for me. I'm experimenting with watercolor right now. So I'm learning how to work with watercolor in a way that's not pressurized and trying to make an image happen, or how I paint something specific. And I'm working with water on paper and how much water I put in my brush and how much pigment and all of that. And then what I do is I go back and I trace out the images that I see in the abstract spreading of color. This has been extremely gratifying for me and extremely calming for my abstract mind. I just wanted to share that with you. I think it's important when you have a defined head in ajna to be aware that that energy up there that you're broadcasting out is affecting others, or it's affecting you through the pressure of the theme that you experience it through. And it's really meant to inspire others, those others who are on your fractal line, who are here for you, who are here for what you have to offer in terms of your mental perceptions. And in those gaps and spaces where that's not being called out of you, it's important to find a way. What I've discovered for myself and that I want to share with you is that it's important to find a way to keep your mind busy, keep your mental broadcast center busy in a way that's aligned with your design so that it stays healthy and you don't implode mentally from trying to figure out your own problems. So I'm just going to leave it at that today. If you found this video helpful, if you liked it, please hit the like button. If you're not following me, please subscribe and hit the little bell so that you're notified of videos when they new videos when they get uploaded. And if you know anyone who could benefit from this video, please feel free to share it. So thank you so much for being here. And until the next time, be well.